Hello, this is Rachel with the Otago Prattville Public Library, and today we are making mini potion pendants. So you should have one of these kits provided by the library. It's got almost everything you'll need to create a potion pendant. You will also need some water and some oil. The oil is optional, but it does create kind of a different texture look to it, which is really cool. And I recommend, if you have some, to use some glue. Jewelry glue works really well for this, just to seal the cork onto the potion pendant. So I'm going to go ahead and take my kit apart here. We've got a pipette, we've got a little plastic cup, 2 toothpicks, two containers. This one has food coloring, and this one has our glitter and mica powder. Our little bottle that will hold our potion pendant, and inside the bottle is our little eye screw that we're going to use to attach to the cork so that it can actually dangle from a chain like a real pendant. And each bag should also have a little charm with it as well, just something to kind of help decorate along with the pendant that you can hook on the chain or twine or whatever you use to create your necklace or keychain. You can add that to it just to add a little bit of extra flair. So we're going to take our cup first, and we're going to kind of mix everything in here. Now, a few notes. One, be very careful with the eye screw. I put it inside of your bottle because it's very small and can get lost quite easily. So we don't want to lose it. Also, with the mica powder and glitter, this powder is very fine and it can stain your clothing. So please be careful when you open it up. You may want to wear an apron and protect your work surface. Same with the food dye. You don't want to get it all over your clothing or your furniture. So first, let's go ahead, and I'm going to kind of attach my eye screw to the cork first things first, right away. So I'm just going to hold the cork steady right here between two fingers and very gently press and turn to get this little jewelry finding into the cork. It's a delicate process. If you press too much, you can break the cork. So you want to be very gentle if you can. And you don't want to go too deep into it either, because if it's slightly crooked or something like that, it can pop out of the side of the cork as well. So there is that, our cork with our little eye screw attached. And we're going to set that aside next to our bottle. Our next step is going to be to tint our materials. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to add the glitter to the oil, and I'm going to add the coloring to the water, because the food coloring is water soluble and it'll mix with that a little bit better. So I'm just going to take a itty bitty splash of water and pour it in this cup. I just did a teeny little bit because, as you can see, these bottles are really small. They're not going to hold a whole lot. And then I'm going to carefully open my food dye. And take one of my toothpicks and just kind of scoop it around in there to get a little bit of the dye and mix that in with my water. And you can go as light or as colorful as you would like. I like mine to be a little bit bright and bold, so I'm going to add quite a bit of this food coloring here. But I am going to continue to add it gradually because you can always add more, but it's harder to take some out. Of course, you can always add a little bit more water as well. Oops, see, like that big old drop, that's a lot. Now it's going to be, that's almost black and it should be purple. So we're going to go ahead and add more water to that then to help dilute it. There we go. And then I'll stir that again with my toothpick just to make sure it's nice and incorporated. There we go. It still looks pretty dark on camera, but it is purple now and not black. So I'm gonna quit while I'm ahead with this food dye and go ahead and start putting some of this into my dropper bottle here. Now, actually, let's see. I think what I want to do is add my glitter and my oil first. So I'm going to take my oil and my glitter and open them each up carefully. I know I said I was going to add the glitter to the oil, but it's going to, because they all have different densities, they're all going to kind of suspend naturally on different layers anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and dump all this glitter into the water and food dye mixture and mix that once more with my toothpick. And that way, since I've kind of overfilled my cup a little bit in an attempt to dilute some of that purple food dye, this way I can just get my oil directly from the bottle here. So I'm going to do that and get a dropper full about. Just holding the bottle at a slant so that I can get it out of there nicely without making a little mess. And I'm gonna pour the oil in gradually. And I'm gonna get about to the halfway point, I think, of this bottle, so that it has a nice dimensional look. If you want, you can add more oil or more water. It doesn't have to be exactly 50-50, so you can totally play around with the ratios there and see what looks cool to you. This is just an exercise in creativity and experimentation. So I've got my oil added. It looks good. It doesn't look like a whole lot. I used coconut oil, so it's clear. So it doesn't look like a whole lot in there right now. It kind of looks just like water, in fact. But once we add some of this water and glitter and mica powder and food coloring mixture, it should really kind of pop. So I'm going to set this aside, and I'm just using the same dropper to squeeze it up. It's all going in the same bottle, so it doesn't matter a whole lot. And you can kind of watch as it sinks to the bottom. It looks really cool. I'm gonna get another dropper full because we've still got some more room in there. And I like to fill mine up pretty close to the top. So I just go right up to where the neck is there. And then I stop right there so that there's room for the cork. If you want to do a little bit extra, you can. Just be sure that you put the stopper on over the sink so that you don't make a big old mess. So we're going to set that, our little dropper aside, and this is basically the gist of it. We've got our cool little potion pendant formed, and now we're going to take a teeny spot of glue and put it around the edge of the cork. I'm going to go ahead and distribute that with my other toothpick a little bit just so it doesn't ooze all over. Beautiful. And then, like I said, very gently, because the cork is kind of delicate, we're going to press this in to attach it. So I'm holding it by the eye screw and I'm just pressing it basically as far in as it'll go. You don't want to press it all the way in, so I like to have just a teeny bit of cork still popping up from the top, a little bit of a lip still showing. And you can see there's some glue there too that oozed out just a little bit, and that's okay because that will dry clear and also help reinforce that bond. So this is our completed potion pendant. As you can see, some of that shimmery silver likes to hang out at the bottom, and then some of the glitter floats around in the oil. The purple with the water hangs out at the bottom, and the oil goes towards the top. And you can kind of shake it around to play with the different textures and things like that. So it looks really cool, pretty magical. Even if you have some like air bubbles in there, that can add to the texture even. So it's a really fun, quick, easy activity. And then your final step, I did not provide any cord in the kit, but if you want to use a cord or a chain or something like that, you would chain on your little trinket, your little charm, and your potion pendant, and stick them on the same loop and go ahead and thread them through your cord. And there you go. You've got a necklace or a keychain or whatever it is that you would like to make more magical.